give us a second. We're having technical difficulties. So I'm with Amanda. Please correct me. Thank you very much. I get my name butchered all the time, so I apologize for that.
It happens all the time.
And you are with SAF, and you do what for SAF?
I'm SAF Senior Content Strategist, so I manage Floral Management, the magazine, and also SAF Now, our newsletter.
And today we are in Washington, D.C. for the SAF CAD, CAD, C-A-D, correct?
Congressional Action Day. Yeah.
Great. So I'm bringing Amanda on because Amanda's been interviewing and speaking to people throughout the day and throughout the event, and we just wanted to understand what people are thinking about the event and saying, and what are the highlights. So Amanda, tell us what people have been saying throughout the event.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we have a lot of first-timers here, and I think once you get to Washington, D.C., and you see the Capitol building, it starts to get real.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing from people is that they feel well prepared with the issues that we've been talking about. They like the connections that they're making with legislators, and they like hearing that these legislators are listening to them, that they're aware of these issues, they know about these issues, and that they're going to follow up with us.
So it's been Congressional Action Day, which is super exciting. And Congressional Action Day is where we've been going to the House and interviewing and speaking with representatives for each of the state. But there's been more of that. So tell us a little bit about the first day and the second day. So what did we do on Saturday and Sunday and yesterday as well?
Right. So we kicked off yesterday morning with an educational session. We have three main issues that we're really taking to the Hill today. It's the reauthorization of the GSP, it's ag labor, and it's research for floriculture. So we spent yesterday morning with our lobbyists talking about these issues, what's happened with these issues in the past, where these issues stand now. For instance, the GSP just needs to go through conferencing. The House has passed a bill, the Senate's passed a bill. They just need to kind of come together and make it one bill to pass. So we're really close on that issue. Mm-hmm. So we spent yesterday really bringing our members here up to speed on the issues and also teaching them how to talk about the issues with the legislators. We actually did some really fun role playing where we threw some curveballs at our attendees.
GSP meaning GPS?
Right. It was funny. Yeah. So I think that helped especially our first timers feel prepared when they can see somebody using the words that they're going to be using when they're talking about legislators.
And I'm a first timer. You're not a first timer.
No, I'm a first timer too.
Hey, what's up, first timer?
Yeah.
Awesome. But so, what's been your experience then? I know we're kind of talking about everybody else's eyes. If you could sum it up in 2 words, what was your experience?
Well,
that's pretty hard.
For me, the big takeaway being here is just actually the networking opportunities with the members. I really have a lot of time to sit down and talk with our members about their businesses and technology and, all kinds of things related to the floral industry. And I think that is such a valuable part of this event. We're building relationships here throughout the industry, but also with our legislators.
Yes.
And I just think the combination of those two things is really powerful.
And it's just been really super exciting, and you're so right. And you do not have to be anybody special to be here. Right? How do you get here?
You register. SAF puts this event on every year. I think this is our 42nd Congressional Action Day. We've got small florists here. We've got wholesalers here. We've got heads of floral associations here. It's a real mixed group that's real representative of the industry.
That's what's really impressive, and you could actually have time to speak to everybody in a personal level. It's not about a sales pitch or anything like that, so it's a real personal level, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to hang out too.
Yeah, Sahid and I have had plenty of time to talk, and, right here just to the left of us is a group of people just finishing up lunch, talking about their meetings.
Exactly, and that's what you'll hear in the background. But hey, we go on the fly, so thank you so much. I know you're on your way where right now?
Yes, I'm going to the Rayburn building to meet with a legislator. I'm kind of shadowing 2 of our attendees to write about.
And it's super humbling almost to walk into these buildings and be allowed in, and then having these representatives that are making actions, right, and taking action. But I don't want to hold you anymore.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And then we're gonna bring someone else in. It's very unprofessional, I guess, but just casual. So Renato, So we're going to bring in Renato from BloomNet. He's been a gentleman this whole time with me. He's helped me set up. So thank you,
Hey
Renato,
guys, how you doing?
for joining. Thank you so much, Renato. How do you say your last name?
So Gecko.
So Gecko.
Yes.
And you are with BloomNet. What do you do for BloomNet?
Oh, I'm the Vice President of Digital Strategy at BloomNet. So I do all the digital strategy for all our brands. BloomNet, NAPCO Imports,
Okay.
Farm to Florist,
Yes.
and Floriology.
Gotcha. And you've been here how many times?
You know, technically, this is my first time, and I think a lot of people may.
Veteran to me.
No. The reason why I'm a veteran, I may seem like a veteran, is because I used to be part of the Society of American Forest staff.
Okay.
So I was at SAF for quite a number of years. So I've worked this event, but from the perspective of obviously a staff member.
Okay.
So I know how everything is set up, and that's why I kind of know the routes and you know the process and the protocols. And everything. But now since when I left SAF and joined BloomNet, now I'm coming at this from obviously a different perspective of a member.
Yeah.
So
well, you've been super helpful to me. And
oh yeah,
thank you so much for your support as well.
Great.
So tell me about your experience being the first time as a member, as a guest. What's been your experience? What have been some highlights since the first day?
Well, you know, like given my experience as a staffer,
Yes.
we never really truly had to know and absorb and learn those issues because I never was in a position where I had to sit in front of a member of Congress and lobby for our causes. But now, you know, like the pressure was on. Like, oh, I now actually have to be sitting in that seat, you know, and advocate on behalf of our industry. So very different, you know, scenario. And I have to be honest. I spent most of last night reading our position papers. You know, so when we were in front of our folks, we were able to effectively advocate on our issues. So I think our first experience, I think, was a great one. It was with Representative Greg Stubbe, a Republican down in Florida.
And we were able to go into his office. He was there. It wasn't a representation of him. That was an honor. That was a pleasure to have.
So we had not only, you know, Congressman Stubbe, but both of his top legislative aides.
Yes.
So we had everybody.
Yeah.
And it was a very thoughtful discussion. It was, to me anyway, it was very obvious that he was listening.
Yep.
Both his guys took notes, and for sure, you know, we got all the contact information from both his legislative assistants to make sure that we follow up on our request of his office. So I thought it was a very, very effective visit. And I lucked because, you know, you're right. It's not all the time where you get to meet with the actual member of Congress. And for me, I think I was very lucky. My first shot at this, we actually got to meet a member of Congress.
Yeah, me too. So it was an honor, and we took a picture and check it out on BloomNet or
yeah, that's right. So we've been we've been doing our best, and it's funny. It's been kind of a running joke where, you know, this will be the most well documented,
I think so,
you know, group at Congressional Action Days, because we've been taking a lot of videos, a lot of photos, and we've been posting it to BloomNet's social, so you could catch it on BloomNet's Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, so do check that out if you're just watching and then want to know more later, because this will be recorded as well. Go to BloomNet social, because he's taking pictures all over the place, and it's just awesome because I've been in the industry for 16 years, and I did not know the depth of this. Right? I was not aware that on Saturday, Sunday with the councils, and then with the future task force, you're changing the industry, or at least giving input to change the industry. Right. And then here, you're changing legislation.
That's right.
Correct?
Yeah, you know, that's a great way to look at it. It's truly pivotal, because when SAF has their spring meetings, it's usually with the new crop of volunteers that you know, were elected the previous year. So when they go into those meetings, and you have you know, retailer council, the wholesaler council, and the grower council.
Yes.
And they have a few new members. There's a lot of ideas that are exchanged during those meetings. So
cross their ideas as well. So
absolutely,
you get to share. And I think what we're doing is very important, because we think that you need to be special to be here in reality, but anybody could be here, right?
No, it's so true. Because, well, I get to take that you're a pretty humble guy, and I think that's why, like we've gotten we've connected right away, and but it's so true. Like I remember chatting with you last night,
Yes, sir.
and you were saying how your voice is amplified, and you're in a room full of. I mean, I don't want to make it too melodramatic, but the idea that these are folks who have volunteered for years, and they've run hugely successful businesses.
Very much so, yeah.
But your opinion is welcome and
Yes.
on equal terms with a lot of people that have been in the industry a very, very long time.
Exactly.
So I think one thing good about SAF.
And if I may say, when he says he's not just speaking about me. It is anybody. There was florists that were very small who were in there. We wanted to hear from them, and everybody wanted to hear from them.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's a great diversity of opinion,
Yes.
thought, and ideas, that are shared.
Mhm.
So I think it becomes a wonderful forum for the industry.
Mhm.
So, I think my message to everyone out there is like, don't feel like you're too small to participate and to make a difference, because an event like this truly enables you to participate on that level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I appreciate that. And I think that we've both seen that, and we hope that we could get that across.
Mhm.
Because the more people that join us next year, it'll just make a benefit for everybody.
Yeah, agreed.
Think of nothing wrong with it, but appreciate that. It's been a pleasure. We're going to jump someone else in here. Miss Corrine. Everybody knows Corrine, right? So from Details, I don't even think she needs to be introduced, but Miss Corrine Hack from Details, this is your what time here?
Oh, this is my fifth time.
Fifth time.
Once virtually, before in person.
Which was last year.
It was.
So
yeah.
why do you keep on coming back?
Gosh, I just love this event. It's one of my favorite things that happens all year, and I keep coming back because I think that it's really interesting to be part of the political process and just to kind of expose ourselves and see how that works, and really try to understand what the congressmen and senators are dealing with, or how words and action can get towards the greater good.
Mhm.
And I just enjoy networking. I enjoy meeting all the people that are part of the in the society. It's great to network, right?
And what did you get out of this event that you haven't gotten out of the other years?
Well,
I know it's a hard
this
question.
has been
and
the
these are
first time
on the
I feel
fly.
like all year I've been advocating for and inviting more people to come to this,
She
because
brought 2 people.
I brought 2 people
Well, that's
that
a big
came,
feat.
and
That's a big feat.
that was really exciting, because I think they really have enjoyed the experience as well, and then they'll tell more people. So I think if we get out there and we have a greater force for what we're looking to do, and just be informed, because I think that there's things to learn all the time, and you just don't know what you don't know, and you don't know how these different policies that we're putting forward could affect our business, or it could help sell more flowers. So that's the goal, I think, is what we're all trying to do, is share flowers with the world and make sure that people know how they need to do that.
And tell us about the networking too. I think that we don't see how important that is, and how this is another level almost, because it's so much more laid back, open door.
Yeah,
almost. Tell us
well,
about
it's
that.
just so, I think we've been so used to doing like online things
Yes.
for like Zoom and all of that, but it's really just great to have those personal connections and come here and really feel like you can have those conversations. It might be totally different, but I think like after hours, or when people aren't really doing the daily grind, it's just really nice to have that one-on-one time with them. So there's just meetings you just can't have, right?
Exactly, and it just is other conversations that you're not talking about business or trying to close a deal, right?
Yeah,
It-
no, it's nothing like that, but it's
Yeah.
also like, I think this business is very much about relationships, and it's really hard to have those relationships if it's always like on the phone or just on the other side of a computer screen. So I think spending that quality time is just really important.
And tell us about some highlights from today.
Well, today we met Representative Stubbe, and
That's cool.
it's typically like when you go to lobby, you don't always get to meet with the actual representative. So it was really, I thought, really nice that he sat down and like took the time
Yep.
and to listen to what we were what we were doing and also like share a few laughs. It was really nice to see that personal side and just kind of it really helped put in perspective that they really do know about all the issues. And I just think that was really, I think, the highlight, because most people, every time I've come previously, we've met with legislative aides, and they're not necessarily the person that has been elected to represent us. So to have them actually sit down with here us make a more position to actually advocate for some of the things that we're asking for.
And I was impressed with Stewie. Even when we were walking out, they were still asking us questions.
Yeah.
So they were excited.
Like we were like, we're ready to go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's been
thank
awesome
you.
to hang out with as well. And thank you for
Awesome.
doing this as well.
Yeah, thank you.
And she's been our partner, so we're in the same group. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. No. How did you enjoy it as a first timer?
Good
This
question.
was your first time?
Good question. Yeah. So this has been an experience in itself. I usually go to Smithsonian and kind of go as a tour guide.
Yeah.
But now I'm here representing a state and representing an industry, and I think that it's meaningful.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for 16 years, and I think this is one of the most meaningful things we've done, and I've done in an industry that try to create change and, new solutions on that, trying to create change. And this gives you the avenue to create change. So if you have a complaint about something, do something about it.
Yeah, you can't complain about it if you're not going to put the effort and the time in. So
There you go. So I'll be here next year, and then next year will be your sixth time?
sixth time, yes.
Sixth time, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to keep on running.
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. Thank you so much,
Safe
Gloria.
NFL. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you
you.
so much. Appreciate you. So we're trying to bring someone else in. Let me see here. David Kaplan is saying great insight and so very important. So thank you, Dave. Please ask any questions or just give us your Nishant, which is one of a part of our team, so Blue Mom. So thank you, Nishant. I appreciate for that. Mr. Austin. I'll bring Mr. Austin. Austin has been amazing to us. He's been our veteran in charge, leading the way and even giving us directions on how to get from place to place. So thank you so much. Tell them about yourself a little bit, please.
Well, my name is Austin Bryant from Heart of Florida Greenhouses. We're a foliage nursery down in Central Florida, out of Salt Springs. We grow interior houseplants and tropical foliage.
And you've been coming here for how long?
This is my third or fourth trip here.
And it seems like you've been here.
Well, I've done many other trips to Washington D.C. with other groups like Farm Bureau and other ag groups.
So you're different than everybody else. We're technology and an SAF. You are with growers. So why is this important for the state of Florida, which is one of the biggest producers of plants, to come here and represent them? And you can correct me if I'm wrong with that. Even.
Oh no, that's fine. It's important for us to come here. I mean, a lot of the issues that would affect the end consumer, of course, trickles back down the chain and would affect us. Things like sustainability issues, things that we're being pressed to do, that you're being pressed to do. I mean, we're interested in those things as well. And the decisions that we're making and how we're growing plants obviously are going to affect how you're selling plants as well. So the policies that are driven here today in DC, it's one hand leads the other, essentially. You want to have the full integration, from the grower all the way to the retail sale.
So he's been representing us and kind of opening the door and conversation at least. So tell us about that experience. Like, how does that feel when you walk in and sit down with one of these decision makers in our government? How's that been?
Well, of course, it's always can be a bit intimidating when you first walk into a representative or a senator's office, and the first thing you have to realize is they're people too, and they're coming from your district or they're coming from your area, and a lot of times the people that in the restaurants that you go to and the ball team that you participate, or are behind, they're behind too as well, because they're from your district or from your area, so you automatically have a personal relationship with them in that regard. And oftentimes people they get in the office and they clam up and they're really nervous, and it's like we put these representatives or senators, they're on a pedestal per se, and it can be difficult to talk to. But really, they've got kids, they've got families, they've got schedules, they've got all the same issues that we do. And if we just take down and slow up a moment and realize that they're people that want to have a conversation with us, right? And I'm important to him because I'm a part of his district. I'm a constituent, And when I lay out my issues, when I lay out my problems right there to him, and say, this is how this is affecting me in Zolfo Springs or in, your hometown, that's where their ears really perk up, because they realize that it's not just you having those issues. If you're having that issue, then other businesses in your area, whether it's labor driven, whether it's water issues, whether it's city council issues, whatever it might be, when you're having those issues, then other people are having those issues. And if they haven't heard about it before, their ears really perk up, because that means that they could be the leading edge of solving that problem before it becomes a catastrophe.
And do you feel they've been receptive?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, you're always going to get the best reception, hopefully from the representative or from the senator that's your constituent from your area. Because again, when you walk into their office and you say, "Hey, I'm from your hometown," that really carries weight, a lot more so than just expecting, your PAC leader or a constituent from, Cornerstone or someone like that. They do great work, and they're leading edge on information, and they have the best conversations, and they have all the statistics in their head. But really, a lot of times, it's not what moves the needle in the mind of the representative or the senator. It's you taking the time to come all the way up here to Washington, D.C., to make the time, to spend the money at the hotel, to take the time and effort to come and meet them in their office. That moves the needle, because if it's that important to you to come up here and participate like that, then they're going to take the moment to stop, listen, and really listen at what you're telling them.
And your representative Stuvey had said here he's going to open a door for you. It was impressive, because we weren't expecting that.
Yeah. And that's, all senators and reps have different policies, and that's one of his policies inside his office, that if you're from his area, if you're his constituent, you meet with him. Now, if you're a PAC leader or you're, from a lobbying agency, and you're coming in with information, then, it's possible you could meet with him, but most likely you're going to be with a staff or the chief of staff.
And what's your role in the Growers Council?
So right now, this is my year to be the chair of the Growers Council. Got so I simply chair the meetings. I lead hopefully the conversations, and lead the group in trying to have good quality conversations and understanding what growers' problems are, and hopefully sharing those golden nuggets of solutions that we can share between one grower and another, of maybe a solution to a problem. Because like I said earlier, if one person's having a problem, most likely someone else is as well, and it could be hand in hand.
Exactly. And tell us a little bit about the Growers Council. What is the Growers Council?
So the Growers Council is a collaboration of really a wide assortment of growers. Anyone from, like myself, which is an interior houseplant grower, to international growers of cut flowers from Bogota, Colombia, or Ecuador, all the way to fresh cut flowers here in the United States, California, those wholesale growers that are through Arkansas, Wisconsin, California, Oregon. Those are the members, and as well the ferneries here out of
even ourselves, if I may say, David Kaplan and myself had the privilege of sitting on the Growers Council. We're a non-grower, but because we were connected and understood, or someone have a different voice for everybody, we're a part. So you don't have to be anybody special to be there, or how do you get there?
You bring to the table with diversity is strength, right? So the more diverse you have your group, a lot of times, sometimes if you cast your net really wide and you get really diverse, sometimes you spend a lot of time in the weeds in your conversations, and sometimes that's a fault of the Growers Council, as we tend to sometimes get off track on in the weeds topics, but we try and keep it as the chairman or the leader. You try and keep everybody on task and keep the conversations relevant to the Growers Council. But everybody, if you have a hand in growing cuts, growing houseplants, growing whatever it is that you're growing, if you have a hand in that, then your opinion is interesting, and it's valid to us because it carries a unique perspective.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting is that there's I guess like a fly on the wall policy that there's actually seats around it, and anybody. Right.
Anybody? No, absolutely. At the Growers Council, anybody's allowed or
to come in,
invited.
Not sit at the table per se, but sit Explain that.
Right. So, I mean, when we're our formal growers councils meetings, obviously we're in session and we have our agendas and we're pushing through the itinerary. But, at any given time, anybody can walk in and sit in the room amongst us. And many times, as we're having our conversations, again, diversity is strength.
Yeah.
So if there's an opinion or a unique perspective that's someone who walked in and on the wall, we'll turn around and say, hey, what do you think about this? You carry a unique perspective. We want to know what your opinion is. So just because you're not on the growers council and sitting in the room, we're going to try and really pick your brain as well to
You
get
said
solutions.
it one other way, but
Oh, I know. Got to be in the growers council to hear what
to
it
hear what he
said.
said, yeah, that's inside information. So that was awesome. Thank you so much, because with people like him, we felt very supportive and comfortable today. So thank you for that. Because
Awesome.
it could be a little intimidating, but you've led the charge, and all we've done is follow.
Oh, no.
So
I think everyone in our group did a fantastic job, and the support is being there, and everyone was able to have their moment and speak their mind and have plenty of opportunity to express their opinions and to speak directly with those representatives and those senators. And that's so important that you get to do that directly, and you get that one-on-one experience, because it's not just meeting them and seeing them here. When you go home and all of a sudden they're having a campaign office barbecue, or they're attending something at a city council meeting, and when you see them again, trust me, if they see you here in Washington, D.C., and then they see you again back in their congressional district, because they see DC. But when you come up here to DC and they see your face here, when you go home, they will remember you. Absolutely.
And then someone like you in the industry that you're in, it means a lot to have a voice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just someone that you can call. One, you can bounce ideas off of as a representative, as chief of staff. I mean, you develop a relationship with this office, and it could be something that might not be in their wheelhouse. It might be a committee or something that really not able to do much help for you on. But, they have constituents. They have people within their parties. I'm not chair of that committee, or I'm not a part of that committee, but here's Representative XYZ's information, and I'm happy to pass that along and to give them a personal call to say that you're on the way, or this is the ask that we need from your committee. So, it's all about that spider webbing relationship, your rep, and also that opens the doors to other offices as well.
Yeah. So it's been awesome. So thank you for your time.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
Awesome.
And again, these questions have been on the fly, so thank you for just saying. I mean, you didn't know he was coming in 2 seconds ago, so
it's easy.
very candid and laid back, and just like hanging out, and that's what we've been doing this whole week. So
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much. Let's see if we can get somebody else in, and if we don't, then we'll call it quits. But one thing we do is do things really authentically and just give it a try, and go live just to bring the industry. And I think it's very important for the industry to understand that this exists and what it really means. We've had florists that have been just opened a year ago joining SAF, and now they're here giving their voice for how we could change the industry. And I think that that's very important. And I myself, again, I've been very humbled to sit at the tables, or even in the room with some incredible minds in our industry, sharing information and also being heard. So I truly appreciate it. So let me look around and see if there's anybody here. I don't think so. Everybody's kind of chit-chatting and doing their thing and having lunch. But again, thank you everybody for joining. Truly, I ask you to please reach out to SAF, to Kate Penn, to Amanda as well, and just reach out. Really want to text them or tag them or reach Instagram or LinkedIn and ask how to become a part of this. It's really well worth the time, worth the experience. You're going to build relationships, and you're going to get an insight to the industry that you may have never had before, to understand really what happens behind the scenes. And that's something that I've been very impressed by. So again, do try to learn more. Do try to see if you could become a part of this. And it's not if you could become, I think it's almost an open door policy. There might be some for different layers of it, but don't be intimidated. Come in, check it out. Throughout the days, we're trying to interview different people. There's another topic But again, we kind of just did this real quick on the fly everywhere I could just open my computer and interview some people. I'm going to do it is to bring insight and information to everybody to, one, help the floral industry innovate, connect, and bloom through community, communication, and innovations. And that is certainly something we've seen throughout this entire week, starting last Saturday. So again, thank you very much for joining. Please share when you see it on YouTube, and please subscribe if you don't want to miss anything else. And keep an eye on us because we might be doing a couple more of these. Thank you. Have a great day.